Greetings, everyone. Core here again, and once again, it's that time of the week. It's time for another midnight review. And this week, I went to go see Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, and it's definitely a dame to kill for. It's more like dames to kill for because there are two stories involving where killing over two women, pretty much. Um, of course, there was controversy with the poster for one of the actresses, which they when they edited it, it really didn't change anything on it, really. Which that's the main story pretty much. But it's pretty interesting how this one falls in the Sin City universe as far as the first movie. Um, it's a prequel and a real time, a present time kind of story, as well as a sequel, pretty much, because that's how Sin City works. They work with multiple stories, and most of these stories are prequels. Most of them, because most of the characters pretty much look, younger. Mickey Rourke's character is here, of course. Bruce Willis' character is in it for a little bit, but only part of the sequel part. Um, which Mickey Rourke is pretty much the center of attention for this movie. He's pretty much is involved in each story that's here. I think, um, yeah, yeah, every story he's involved in some way or another. The main story in the middle, of course, he's kind of like he's there, and then he just comes in at the end, pretty much. The Joseph Gordon-Levitt uh, story, he's the only one that he's not involved, but he still makes an appearance, pretty much, because they all go to that one bar that everyone hangs out at. That's where Nancy's at. That's where Marv hangs out. That's the bar, pretty much, that everything happens. And that's kind of the main focal point along with Marv, because this story is uh, Frank Miller wrote this story just for the movie. He didn't, make a comic or nothing, so it's strictly a movie, movie story. It's not a comic story that was adapted or anything like that. Even though, granted, this could be a comic for sure, it's definitely no change in quality from the first one. The first one was pretty much shot almost, scene for scene, a lot of the shots. This one is really beautifully shot. They actually don't use as much color in this one. It's mostly, excuse me, the hair is all poofy. Um, it's mostly like there's a few people that are fully colored. It's mostly like eyes, hair color, um, certain items that are like lit up and stuff like that. It's different. It's interesting. They stick to more of the black and white. It seems like compared to the first one, where there was a few scenes where it's like there was a lot of color, or there was no color at all, or different things like that. So it is different in that way. As far as comparing it to the first one, I like it just as much, if not maybe a little bit better, just because there's more Marv, and I love Marv. I don't know if you can see, but I have a Marv back there. You probably can't see it, but yeah, he's he's the best character in the whole series. I mean, he's just a freaking walking tank, and in this one, pretty much, he's kind of like the guy to go to if you need muscle, which that's really all he is just muscle. He doesn't, he says he has the condition where he forgets, he has to remember, and takes the pills, so it's pretty funny, some of the scenes. But he's pretty smart, too. That's what I think everyone likes about Marv. Mickey Rourke does a great job again, of course. Like I said, Bruce Willis is hardly in it. All the other actors, which is kind of tough, because from the original Sin City, two actors have died, which one of them being Brittany Murphy, and the other one being, um, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot his name. Michael Clark Duncan. There we go. And it's like, man, I mean, Murphy's, she's not really in this one that much, really. So, you know, her character's really not involved in this story arc. So, yeah, you could do without her. But Michael Clark Duncan's character is in it. Even though this seems kind of weird on the placing of where this would fall. Um, but he is in it, and it's interesting. I mean, they get a younger guy that's similar. I mean, he's pretty big too, and he kind of looks like him. So it is kind of interesting to see. It's the story where it's supposed to be when he's younger. So it works. It works. The guy even tries to deep voice too, but it's not quite Michael Clark Duncan, who's the big gentle giant that everyone remember him as. But yeah, it's like it's good though. I do like all the acting. The story is really good. The visuals are amazing, of course, because the way that they shoot it, it's like a living comic book. It's the way I like to describe it. The whole movie it's a noir movie style, but with hyper violence. So it's kind of like Tarantino kind of goes a little crazy with the violence, meaning a noir, old-fashioned movie where it's detective work and black and white, and the sceneries and all that stuff are just beautiful. But it is the hyper violence when it comes to the action scenes and stuff like that. But it works. There's no other movie like it. Seeing this movie compared to all the other movies I've seen this summer, it's really its own thing. It stands apart from the rest, and that's what's good about it. I do worry about this movie a little bit just because it was in the same theater as I saw Expendables last week, and Expendables 3 bombed, and there was just as many, if not less, people in this showing as Expendables last week. So I hope it does good. It is an R-rated movie for sure. Uh, excuse me. Definitely go see it if you liked it first. It's definitely a good movie, especially seeing it on the big screen. It just looks beautiful. Even though in its monochrome kind of coloring, with its splashes of color here and there, it's really beautiful in that way. The stories were cool. I liked them, no complaints. Continued, one of the stories kind of gave a little bit more better look into Marvel a little bit, even though it still makes them pretty mysterious compared to like everything else. Everyone else is pretty laid out, out there. But yeah, definitely go see it. I do recommend it. I don't have any movies planned for the next like month, pretty much. So the next movie I really am looking forward to is The Book of Life, which is a Guillermo del Toro movie, which I love Guillermo del Toro. There's nothing else I can think of, so it may be a while for another review, but I'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll do a video, actual review, not just a midnight review of a movie. Maybe splice something together, but we'll see. So, until next time, guys. Later.